Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
I had to put on my reaching hat. Hear me out.
It's Monday.
It is Monday, and we've decided to launch Tinker and Tweak on a whim this morning.
Who's Tinker and who's Tweak?
The thing is, I'm Tinker and Tweak.
Okay.
Tweak is my evil alter ego that says things that no one's supposed to say out loud.
All right.
Thank you for clicking. Erin Valenti is a tech CEO out of Utah who went on a business trip in Silicon Valley and vanished. Later on, she was found lifeless in her car, and that's when the mystery really began. Before I begin, you guys know I have to give my thanks to my returning subscribers, old and new. Thank you guys so much for your support, continuing to watch, like everything that you do, leaving comments. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. It means so much to me, and I just can't thank you enough. And if you are new here, hi. This is me. I wear a tinfoil hat and I talk about true crime and conspiracies. And today, I don't know what it is. Is it true crime? Is it conspiracy? Is it both? Let's get into it. It all started on October 7th, 2019. Erin Valenti's mom and dad were celebrating their wedding anniversary. They were all the way in New York. It was said that Erin's mother was actually enjoying a plate of roasted cauliflower when her daughter Erin called. Erin was on this business trip in the Bay Area. And so she had called her mom and said that she had just left Palo Alto. She had met with a friend or a former colleague, and she was on her way to the airport, but that she couldn't find her car. When Erin's parents finished their anniversary dinner, they called her to see if she had found her car. She had found her car. So she had rented a car. It was a Nissan, by the way, a Nissan SUV. And she was driving and she was talking to her mom, and then she would call her husband and her mom, and she was talking to them periodically, and they all said that she sounded different. So her family said that she was acting very erratic. She was talking really fast, and she had mentioned something about her car running out of gas. And then the conversation got strange. Erin uttered her last words. She said, quote, "It's all a game. It's a thought experiment. We're in the Matrix." And then she said, "I'm gonna miss my flight." And Erin did in fact miss her flight. She basically just vanished. It was all so strange because Erin was just about to turn 34. She had plans. She was about to receive an award for women in tech in Utah, and she was looking forward to that. Her last post was a Facebook post where she said, quote, "Heading to SF and LA soon. Who's around? DM me." She posted this on Facebook September 26th, and 11 days before she disappeared. And this would be her last post. The reason why Erin went on this trip was to attend a course, a very intense and immersive course called Create Powerful. Now this course is a 3-day intensive experience, and it's designed to create powerful leaders. It's all about leaders and executive positions. It's about facing your fears, being uncomfortable, challenging your mind. We're gonna go into it a lot more later on, but just for context, she was there for this conference in Southern California, in Laguna Beach. Then she went from there to the Bay Area. She attended another conference, and then she met with her friend in the Bay Area, and then she was supposed to leave her hotel and go to the airport. And it's during that trip where everything kind of spiraled. Before her phone died, however, her family was growing concerned, and they had police call her. And police spoke to her, and they said that she wasn't making any sense. They couldn't really get any information from her. They even said that they had searched the area where she was and they couldn't find her vehicle. And they basically had come to the conclusion that, you know, she's a grown woman. She wasn't making any sense. Maybe she just went off and did her own thing. And they didn't consider her a missing person, even though her family was like, this is completely unlike her. This is very strange. She had a huge thing to go to. She missed her flight. We can't reach her. Something is wrong. Although the husband was frustrated, he was not as upset as Erin's father, okay? Erin's father, Joseph Valenti, well, he had some things to say. Erin Valenti's father said that he had given them all this information to the police. He gave them the vehicle, the license plate, the make, the model, descriptions, the fact that she was acting erratic on the phone, data tracking. After all that information that her father gave her, they still refused to consider her a missing person. So she went missing on a Monday, and the police didn't file the missing persons report till Thursday. And when they did, they filed it as a voluntary missing. So that did not make this a priority at all in terms of their resources and them looking for her. As I said, Erin Valenti's dad was not happy about this, and he said, quote, "That's bullshit," because she was due for a flight out of San Jose airport back to Salt Lake City. The sergeant of the San Jose Police Department, because this happened in San Jose, and the sergeant said, quote, "We're not sharing any additional details at this time since the investigation is open and ongoing." So already there was a little bit of friction, or a lot of it, between Erin's family and the police. At that point, the family decided to take on the investigation themselves. Her mom flew down with her brothers, her dad, her husband was like already there searching. They reviewed security footage camera in the areas where they knew she was. They put out flyers. They even contacted Verizon Wireless to see where Erin's phone was pinging, and they went to those areas where the phone was pinging. During that search, Erin's mother spoke to media, and she said, quote, "It's a nightmare. Why can't they find a car? How can you hide a car?" They went so far as to hire a drone person who can operate a drone to fly the drone in rugged mountainous areas to see if maybe she was there. They even used the Find My Phone app, and that was unsuccessful. They decided to start a Facebook group called Help Find Erin Valenti. This is a post that was made by her husband on that Facebook page. Her husband is called Harrison Weinstein, and he wrote this post October 9th at 8:36 p.m. "I write this post with a lot of pain and fear, but can really use your help. My wife, Erin Valenti, has been missing since Monday night. She was last seen in Palo Alto Monday afternoon wearing torn jeans and a white t-shirt. She was driving from Palo Alto to San Jose, but never returned her rental car or made it to her flight home to Utah. Her phone has been off since Monday night. If you have seen or heard from her, please let me know. She was last driving a gray Nissan Murano with California plates HLU D641. Any information to her whereabouts is much appreciated and can be directed to me, her family, or the San Jose Police Department. The pictures posted are all recent, within the past few weeks." And this was another Facebook post made by her husband during the search. He says, "I am Erin's husband and am heavily involved in her search. The car surprisingly does not have any tracking devices, and there has been no activity on any credit debit ATM cards. San Jose PD have a missing persons report but have labeled as a voluntary disappearance. We don't accept this, and it is extremely out of character, but this results in them not doing any active searching. Anybody who can help look for her, pressure authorities to do more, anything else would be much appreciated. Because the car has not turned up, we are wondering if it may be in a more remote area. She was low on gas and there was no gas station charges. Please help search remote areas around South San Jose. If anyone has drones, that may help scan the area. Thank you all for your well wishes during this incredibly difficult time." At this point, there was a lot of speculation going on about Erin Valenti. If she didn't go voluntary missing, what happened? It seemed to people that she may have been suffering from a manic episode, but her husband said that, who by the way is a psychologist, her husband said that she had no medical history, no ever signs of mental illness or anything that would make sense that she would have had this manic episode. So the Facebook post helped rally a lot of people, especially locals in the area, that heard that this woman was missing in their neighborhood. It actually turned out to be crucial for the case because it was a local, a good Samaritan, who found Erin Valenti and not the police. They noticed the car matching her description parked in a residential area, and when they looked inside the car, they saw Erin's lifeless body in the back seat of the car, and that's when they called police. Then, unfortunately, Erin's family got the bad news that Erin was dead, and that's when things really get weird. So first of all, Erin's car was only a half-mile away from where her last known location was. So that was the area where people were searching, and for some reason nobody noticed her, or when the police were searching, they didn't notice that vehicle. It's very strange, but it went on for days and days and days where nobody noticed that that vehicle that everyone was looking for was half a mile away from where everyone was looking. At that point, the family called off the search, and Erin's husband made another Facebook post. Update. I can't believe that I'm writing this, but my wife and best friend and entire life, Erin Valenti, was found dead in San Jose. There are a lot of details that we don't know yet, including cause of death. Her family is devastated. I feel like I don't have a life to go back to because she was my life. Thank you all for the overwhelming response. The outpouring of support from friends, family, and total strangers will always be with me and made me see some good in the world. And then there's more, but I couldn't access it. Once the body was found, everybody started speculating about what happened. Her parents spoke to media and said that they believed that she had suffered from some kind of manic episode. Her husband, who, as I said, is a psychologist, he said, quote, "There's never any history of anything like this. No mental health diagnosis, no hospitalization, no substance use, no arrests. As clear of a record as you can get. This is incredibly unlike her. She is an extremely high achievement, successful person." At this time, all the family knew was that there were no obvious signs of trauma on her body, but they had to wait for the autopsy results. So Erin's career and background is very crucial to the theories. So Erin Valenti is the CEO of Mindshare Ventures and Tinker Ventures. Tinker Ventures is an apps design and development company. Prior to her forming Tinker Ventures, she was actually an executive at Overstock.com. You might be familiar with it. And at that point, she was the head of product development, and she oversaw a team of 250 engineers. She lived in Salt Lake City, Utah with her husband. She was avid, a climber, and she was really into nature and skiing. So then the autopsy results came in, and they were baffling to say the least. So a publication called Business Insider got access to the autopsy report. They did not show the actual report, but they described what was in it, and that's what I'll be reading to you. The manner of death was ruled as natural, and the cause of death was sudden death due to an acute manic episode. Business Insider made a point to note that the autopsy did not actually explain what killed her. So, okay, it's an acute manic episode, but did she have a stroke or did her heart stop? Like, the mechanics of it was never explained in the autopsy. And that is another source of contention, which we'll be talking about later. The autopsy mentioned that the authorities said that they did an investigation and there was no foul play. In terms of toxicology, everything came back negative. She had no drugs or anything in her system. The only thing was that she had a thyroid condition and she was taking medication for that, but there was nothing else in her system. The medical examiner in the autopsy report kind of theorized based on the fact that she was found dead and what her family said about her behavior over the phone. And they said, quote, "There's a suggestion that the etiology of her final manic episode was related to an emerging, previously undiagnosed psychiatric disorder." Erin's mother said, quote, "We may never find an answer." That brings me to the theories. The first theory is that Erin Valenti did in fact have some sort of mental break that caused her death, but that the mental break was caused by the course, the Create Powerful, Intense, and Immersive course, okay? Which we'll be going into that. The second theory, and now this one you really need a tinfoil hat, do your stretches, because ladies and gentlemen, we're in the reaching zone. Hear me out. It is known that Erin Valenti's company, Tinker Ventures, why did I say it like that? Her company had links, literal and figurative, to artificial intelligence, neural control, neural control, brain-machine interface. We're gonna get into all that, but basically like brainwave technology type stuff. She had links to that, and a lot of people think, based off of her last words where she said, "It's all a game, it's a thought experiment, we're in the matrix," they think that she may have been like a guinea pig of some sort for this technology, and that could have been the cause of her mental break. And then the third theory, which kind of piggybacks off the second theory, is that, well, she was gonna talk about it and she was gonna say bad things about this new technology, and that there were a lot of powerful people in Silicon Valley who have motive, means, and opportunity to, you know, silence her, and that there was a cover-up, okay? So we're going to go into each theory, flesh it out. I'll give you the facts, and then as usual, you decide. All right, so the first theory, which is all about this Create Powerful course. Naturally, I had to look into it and see what I could find about this course, and I did find a promo video.
My name is Brandon Craig, and I'm a founder of Encore. And you've likely landed on this video because someone has suggested or recommended that you look into attending the Encore's Create Powerful course. What I would have you know about the course is that the nature of the course is designed to give you access to leadership, and the work that it takes to develop yourself in this area is rigorous. Anyone that has been through the course will describe that to you. It's a lot of work, and we're not afraid to have you see that. I have found in my life that I have an affinity for people connecting to their personal power. The last 10 or 11 years I've been working with some of the top leaders in the world around performance. What I've done is I've compiled a model of leadership, and we've created a firm around this model, and the firm is called Encore. I'm asking you to define who you are. The things that we're going to present to you, for some of you, some of the time are going to seem unnatural or unfamiliar, and you may not agree with it at first.
I would challenge you with the same challenge Brandon gave me, that it's going to be one of the hardest things mentally you've ever done. It will absolutely change your life in the sense that you won't think the same. You will think more profoundly and more in depth than you did previously.
What I would have you be open to is that the course is designed to produce a different experience of the living of your life. As a person who is committed and who attends the course from a place of commitment and participates in the course, it's an opportunity to experience a true transformation.
It is such an investment, but it is life-changing.
There is nothing like this work. Those 3 days in sessions has had more impact on me than everything else combined.
Now, in our work here, fear seems to be a common denominator among many people, and the outcome of the experience they have in their life is that fear stops them. When you attend the course, you will gain a new relationship with fear, and you will see it differently and have a different kind of experience with it. You have to know that being in the course will change your life, that the course is designed and will deliver on you creating power.
Okay, so clearly by the creators of the course themselves, they are saying that it's a very impactful, it's intense. There's emotional scenes. You saw people crying. It's a lot of talk about your fears and facing your fears and changing the way you think and how your mind will never be the same again. Okay, I did a bit more digging into Encore. When you go onto the Encore website, you'll find that they have a link to the Create Powerful course at the bottom. And when you click on that link, you come here and it says that it is an intense, immersive live course designed for individuals who are committed to personal and professional growth, becoming more powerful leaders of themselves and others, and experiencing their relationships in a powerful way. This is just my opinion, but it feels very scammy to me. It feels very like these CEOs that are like under pressure and stressed out, and like it's a lot on their shoulders and they have a lot of money. And so I feel like they're kind of taking advantage of that. I mean, my conspiracy allegedly, don't sue me, but it does feel a little scammy, especially when you read this section right here where it says, is this course right for you? If you are ready to take the next step, creating more power in your life and having others experience you as a powerful leader, and are willing to commit yourself to 3 days of intense, rigorous training, then this course is for you. This is not a course open to the public and will not be mass marketed. Feels culty already. It is by invitation and referral only. Please read this course description and the registration form very carefully before registering. There are no refunds, and we are committed to having only committed people in the course. It's like, you know, we are going to choose you. It's exclusive and you have to be committed, and you know, how committed are you? It's like very that. And then it says attendees are selected exclusively at the discretion of the Encore team. The standard event tuition is $6,500 per participant, while current early action pricing is a mere $5,000. I added the mere. Through September 23rd, 2020, each person's course registration also results in one extra night at the Ritz-Carlton Resort. And then it talks about the fees per night. Participation requires uninterrupted attendance and engagement throughout the full 3-day experience. Once you have committed to be in the course and have successfully registered, there will be no refunds. So in the About section of Encore's website, it says Encore empowers its clients to discover how powerful leaders lead and how you can lead powerfully, both personally and professionally. We foster a new understanding of yourself as a leader in your life, self-leadership, and in your business. To achieve this, we help you forge a new relationship with fear and how you can use this new relationship to reach incredible levels of performance in all areas of your life. This produces a way of being in the realm of fearlessness, having freedom to be and freedom to act. It's like they say a lot without saying much. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they could be really good politicians. One of the things I really wanted to find out was why Erin wanted to take this course. Like, was there something going on in her life where she felt she needed this coaching? Like, what was going on? And I did find an article where they spoke to her friend who not only told her about this, but was there too at the course. Let me read you an excerpt from this article, okay? It says, her feelings of restlessness grew, and in late summer, Valenti reached out to Rafferty about wanting an executive coach. It happened that his coach was about to organize a retreat in California. Create Powerful is a workshop designed for leaders to reflect and move past their perceived limits. Rafferty, who had used the organizer Encore to provide coaching for his startup senior leadership team, likened it to a Tony Robbins seminar for business owners. The next 3 days were a mix of lectures, partner work, and time alone spent journaling. The last time he saw her, Rafferty said she was bouncing from guest to guest at a sunset dinner on the hotel lawn. The workshop had renewed her interest in hiring a local team, which would give her the bandwidth to pursue other interests while still running Tinker, she told him. They hugged goodbye. On Sunday, she had dinner in Palo Alto with J.J. Cardwell, who was a principal at Summit Partners when he was Valenti's first boss. He recalled her excitement over the workshop, how it had helped her reconcile her work troubles. She cared deeply about Tinker, Cardwell said, and it mattered a lot to her identity. She was very committed to the continued path there, but she realized she could do both. She had elevated enough as an executive and entrepreneur that she realized she didn't have to be one thing. Any normal human being can do one thing. I find it very interesting that they likened it to Tony Robbins. If you're not familiar, Tony Robbins seminars, experiences, whatever you want to call them, they're very high energy and intense and emotional. And at the end, you're encouraged or challenged to walk on hot coals. The fact that this person who's been there compared it to Tony Robbins, which is super intense, I don't know if that could have been something that pushed her over the edge, considering how she acted after the fact. So that's the first theory, and I would love to know what you guys think about it. And now we're gonna go on to the second theory. So now this theory is crazy, right? Brainwave interface technology, like guinea pig, you know, it's crazy. So the first thing I wanted to know is why did this rumor come out? Where is the link? And that's when I found Erin Valenti's company, Tinker Ventures, Twitter. And it's quite interesting. All these links were very much about artificial intelligence, mind control, telepathy. You'll see. Let me show you the tweets. So let's start with the first most controversial tweet, which is one that says, mind control equals neuro control. The future of brain-machine interfaces is non-invasive. And it links to an article called Mind Control by Josh Wolf. And when you click the link, it takes you to an article. And this article, it highlights a company called Control Plus Labs. And the company, it specializes in brain machine interface or brain computer interface. Control Labs was actually recently just bought out by Facebook. So this technology that I'm talking to you about, it's not like fake, it's real and it's happening, and people are spending a lot of money on it. This wasn't the only kind of post that Tinker Ventures did about stuff like that. There's more and more and more. Microsoft's artificial intelligence lets bots predict pauses and interrupt conversations. Computer system transcribes words users speak silently. Why AI will bring an explosion of new jobs. The Elon Musk effect. 8 big industries brain hacking could transform. Affectiva launches AI tech to help cars sense your emotions. Jeff Bezos details his moon colony ambitions. Great, wonderful. Moon Prime. How to train your robot. AI for everyone. I got chipped. A dispatch from the frontier of wearable tech. And so I clicked on that article and it takes you to this article over here that says, I got chipped, a dispatch from the frontier of wearable tech. It's possible that in the not too distant future, we'll all be walking around with implants no bigger than a grain of rice under our skin, transmitting everything from payment capabilities to health data. The question is, will it ever feel normal? So they even talk about the, moral implications of this. Like, what if a kid refused to be chipped if you're trying to chip your children? It talks about what if your financial assets, DNA, voting record, and more were linked to your chip, not by choice, but by law? What if these chips and the blockchain become the ultimate tool of corporate and authoritarian control? If robots can learn from each other, is this the beginning of robot culture? Artificial consciousness. How to give robot a soul. Telepathy could be real. Are we ready? And then there's an article. They're interviewing somebody called Mary Lou Jepson. They say she is inventing the future of seeing inside your head. The company she launched last year, Open Water, is her most ambitious project yet. Among the technology's manifold possibilities is a provocative goal: mind reading. So the interviewer asks her, how do you prevent coercive use of this technology? And she goes, it's a big question as we develop the ski hat that allows you to communicate with thought and also monitors, calibrates, and secures forms of brain disease and allows us to take an image inside our bodies. So the ethics. We create the ski hat, unbelievable as it may seem, in a single-digit number of years and get it to production. Can the police make you wear it? Can the military make you wear it? Can your parents make you wear it when you come home at 3 a.m. and they want to know where you were? Open Water has committed to making sure it will only work if you want it to work, if you willingly think into the hat. So we've got actual evidence that Tinker Ventures was tweeting about on an official, work Twitter, was tweeting about neural control, mind control, telepathy, robots, artificial intelligence, blah, 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 all that stuff. So would it be so far-fetched to think that Erin Valenti was dabbling in this technology? Maybe she tried it herself, which made people believe that Erin Valenti was not only personally interested or fascinated with artificial intelligence, but that her company was either funding or developing or designing that kind of technology. So here's where the theory comes into play. Some people theorize that either at this conference or on her own or somewhere at her time in Silicon Valley, she may have been testing out some of that technology, and could that technology have had some sort of side effect that resulted in her having a mental break and ultimately her death? That is a question that has been floating around, and I would love to know what you guys think about that theory. Now, given all what I've just told you and, her last words, because all this comes from her last words, it's all a game, it's a thought experiment, we're in the matrix. At one point, she even asked her mom, are you in on it? Like, are you in on the experiment or whatever? So it seems like she was experiencing some type of paranoia as well. And her mother, who was a retired nurse, responded by asking her if she was drunk or had taken any drugs or somebody had given her something. And Erin's responded no. And of course, the autopsy confirmed that no, Erin was not on anything. The next and final theory piggybacks off of the second theory, right? So let's say, theoretically, okay, let's say that, somehow this was technology and it messed up her brain, and she was either trying to tell people about it, warn people, or she knew too much, whatever. This theory is really the craziest because they are saying that there was a cover-up and that maybe she was killed to keep her quiet, using this brain kind of stuff that was already driving her crazy, and that the cover-up involved the police, and that's why the police were not supporting her and looking for her and everything like that. Now, I find this one to be the biggest reach of all, but let's explore it for argument's sake. So, you know, the conspiracy theorists say if there was ever going to be anybody who had the means, motive, and opportunity to do this, something like this, it would be these tech giants, these Silicon Valley billionaires who have all the resources you could imagine, and that they could possibly influence a police department and tell them, you know, whatever, some sort of Epstein type thing, you know what I mean? All these rumors really stemmed from not only her last words, but what the father said. Because remember, the father was very upset with police and he was outspoken about police. This is some more of what he said. He said, the beginning of it was a charade and I am totally frustrated and pissed off with how that was conducted. He said that he gave them all this information, and even though it was clear that she was missing not voluntarily, they still classified her as voluntarily missing. And that is something that he just couldn't understand and couldn't get over. At the end of this, I want to leave you with a quote from Erin's youngest brother, Chris Valenti. And I think it's a great quote because it sums everything up very perfectly. And you know, he's like the youngest one, but he seems very wise. This is what he said. He said, when you don't know everything, you start thinking about everything. It's kind of like, because we don't know a lot, all these theories are coming out. Conspiracy theories are always born out of uncertainty when you don't have a clear answer. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I would love to know what you guys think about this case. What do you think happened to Erin Valenti? Please let me know. I am leaning towards the first theory, where I think that maybe the workshop messed with her a little bit if she was fine, because those types of workshops can mess with certain people. Or it could have been random, I don't know, but I'm more leaning towards the first theory. I'd love to know what you guys think. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Happy Halloween already. Bye.